Alright, we're going to be taking a look at Battlepants, sorry, playing tank on Eichenwalde. And this is gold 4 in console. Hello, I've been trying to climb as a tank out of gold. I'm currently gold 4, and I've been focusing on my positioning as well as trying not to overextend far away from my team at critical points. I have a bad habit of getting too caught up in the fight to realize when I should retreat, or when my team needs help. I think it's evident near the end of this game, and I think it costs the game. Thank you. Also, ignore the chat. Got a little frustrating in the middle of the attack round. I don't like raging in chat and calling people dumb. Is about as bad as it ever gets. Yeah, don't talk to anybody ever. Is my general advice to people. Don't listen to anybody. Don't talk to anybody. Just play your game. Right? There's no reason to interact. Even if someone's actively throwing, I've never seen a scenario where someone tells someone, like, "Hey, stop throwing," and that changes the outcome of the game. Just play your own game. I have seen scenarios where you think someone's throwing, and then you try hard, you play hard, and you end up winning. So that I've seen. I've never seen anybody respond to calling them out or anything like that. It's not helpful. And people who are playing poorly know they're playing poorly. They're not oblivious to it. You don't have to. Talking to them's not gonna help. All right, let's watch. So for starters, I would never peek this wide. Why? Because you have no idea what the lineup is at the beginning of the game, right? If you look at scoreboard, their heroes are hidden. If a hog comes around the corner right now and hooks you faster than you can react, you die, right? He hooks you right here, you're dead. It's all over, right? And then you lose the point. If it comes out and sleeps you, you can also die here. So I think it's very important. Even something like a Pharah booping you, right, using concussive, like knocking you backwards, could conceivably lead you to die here. I would never peek this wide at the beginning of the map, right? I would go like this far maybe, spam a little bit, and come right back. So general tips for Orisa versus Winston is you should javelin him out of... you basically poke him down, right? Try to force him to use bubble early like he does here, which is really good for you, bad for him. Number one. And number two is when he tries to jump, try to javelin him out of the air. And then when he lands, or as he's landing, decide, can I come back, go back to my team, and can we kill him? If so, do that. Otherwise, if I don't think that I can do that, then just continue holding off the rest of the team. Okay? And it's going to be heavily situational based on exactly where he lands and what the situation is. So you forced out the early bubble, which is great. That's really bad for him. And then Bastion comes out, he pops tank mode. You should have already been tracking the fact that there's a Bastion because you saw him. He was the very first hero you saw. 6 seconds up on tank form, 10 seconds down. You should memorize that number, right? Because it's extremely important as a tank to realize when the Bastion is strong and when he's weak. So you spin here. You should not go forwards. This is a mistake. Spin only lasts about 2 seconds, like 1.75. You do not want to end up like finishing your spin and land and like finish it in the middle of the road, right? That's going to have you get obliterated. So you could have used spin here to simply just walk back or turn the corner and go inside here. Either of these options is fine, but definitely just doing this is really bad. You're forced to pop early fortify, that's really bad. Again, watch this Moira. You see her fade right now, and she's going to pop right in front of you. And this is an easy javelin kill. She has no fade. She should die here, right? 100% of the time, I would say on PC. I mean, this is gold on console, so like, it's generally like lower skilled. But on PC, yeah, even at gold, this Moira dies right now. You javelin her right away, okay, into the wall, and then you kill her. Even without javelin, you can just hunt her down and kill her. She has no ability to escape right now. You get 2 here, which is a little lucky, but we'll take it. So in this situation, you see that Winston is going after your Baptiste. Your Baptiste is in danger. You should use spin and just run to the Winston. Why? Number one, spin does 100 damage over 2 seconds. That's A. B is it knocks the Winston away from your Baptiste, which prevents him from getting the kill. Because your team's already won this fight, the number one thing here is not to let anybody die. That way they don't, because they have spawn advantage because they're much closer. So you just want to pin the Winston back. Right? You miss javelin. You definitely should not get out of the Winston's way. That's the worst thing you could do here. You have no chance the Winston can kill you here. You do something that happens to me too when I first started playing Orisa, is you cancel your spin early. Right? You got plenty of time on spin left, but you accidentally cancel it early, which is possible by hitting the same button again. That Winston 100% should have died here. So you just have to remain in trouble. Again, Moira's in. Shoot the Moira. Right? Force fade. Don't bother. I mean, that's fine. You could hear the Winston right now through your left room. I really hope you're playing with a headset. You can hear the Winston on your left. So right here, I would have saved Javelin and started walking forwards to kill the Winston right now. If you come through this door, throw Javelin, insta-death. Again, don't just stand main like this. You're going to get hammered from the rest of the team. Right? You're getting absolutely shredded by the team. You spin to get away, which is good. So I would not go any further than here because I want my Baptiste and Mercy to heal me, but I do not want to poke right now while I'm still super low. You should have used this opportunity to poke out the Winston. Alright, remember what I said? Whenever you see Winston, just poke him. Just every single time, just shoot. Because it makes his life really hard. Instead, you pop Fortify and you run into the middle. This is not a good time at all. Like, there's just literally no need for this. No one's in any danger. They're not pushing in. So use one of your most important cooldowns to just walk into the middle. Winston's going to dive. So you should track where the Winston's going to land, and then you should run straight into the bubble and try to kill him. Yep. So right here, when you walk up, you should go this way and immediately javelin him into the wall. So you don't use javelin at all. You spin, but too late. Now you're pretty low. You do not want to fight right now. You have no cooldowns, right? No fortify, no spin. So you're in extreme danger right now. Winston's coming after you. Your team is trying to keep you alive. You can't go really that deep in here because honestly, your Baptiste and Mercy healing you is probably the most important part. So I'd probably stay in this doorway and just keep shooting the Winston. Winston doesn't do that much damage, so you don't have to worry about it. You fortify right now. Aims off. You should not ever miss a Winston at this close range. Even on console, I just don't think you should miss a Winston. It's not that hard to hit. You get a bubble, which is a reasonable idea. Hit the Winston again. Now your team just kind of falling apart, though. You took a lot of attention, so we just kind of rewind back here. So your Widow dies initially. How does your Widow die? Oh, she just drops. Not much you can do about that. So Widow dies. You go in here. You see how your support, your Mercy in particular, is in like a very bad spot trying to heal you in this position. Genji kind of tries to come in to save you as well. Again, this could be avoided if you just didn't peek again when your cooldowns were off. Mercy dies because you're just very overextended. I mean, she could have survived here with better movement, but you know, this is gold. And then once your Mercy dies, it's really over. There's not much you can do at this point. Just skipping ahead. So you don't want to push this. This is not a space that's considered generally like a space that defenders should go into. So you should just play out here, right? I think default is like basically right here, followed by the next default spot is right around there. Playing this far up exposes you to a lot of people who can attack you. Like imagine this Bastion goes tank form right now and just shreds you. What is your team going to help? You should recognize like where can I actually play and where can't I play. By the way, your correct reaction to Bastion is not to fortify, but to spin. Because Fortify only halves the damage you take. Spin reduces the damage you take by 100%, assuming it's not a beam weapon. So when this happens, you should pop Spin, not Fortify. And in general, you should use Spin before Fortify, assuming both of them are being used, like assuming you're trying to stay alive. Because Spin is a much shorter cooldown, so you'd much rather use Spin first. That way, if you don't need Fortify, and the next time you come in danger, you have another Spin, you can avoid using Fortify, right, and keep it available. You make a double mistake here where you pop Spin and Fortify, which is a huge no-no. Mercy gets shredded right here. I don't really think this is your fault. This is kind of just bad movement on the Mercy's part. Try to spin backwards. I mean, I question whether or not you can get away here. Possibly. I think popping Fortify here is the right call. Try to hunt down the monkey, which I think is actually probably also a good call. You're at 103. Trying to stay alive. Oh, that boop actually probably saved your life. I think you die if she didn't whip shot you because the Bastion would have killed you. Pretty good tracking on the Bastion. Good javelin attempt. Throw low. Genji's in. As soon as I see Genji's in, as soon as I see the dash, I want to spin in because I want to get in there faster to help whoever the Genji's trying to kill. Right. Really important to time your threat windows with your opposing team. Looking for javelin here. Don't spin. So I would say that it looks like you're fairly inexperienced, right? It feels like you probably have 15 hours or less on Orisa, I want to say. Certainly do not look like an experienced Orisa player because you like kind of fat finger the buttons here, okay? You should be trying to javelin here, but instead you hit spin, which I'm pretty sure you didn't mean to do based on your positioning. Then you missed the javelin. But I've noticed like there's like when you pop the spin and fortify, for example. So right here, you're going to pop ultimate, try to save your Baptiste. This is not a great situation because this is a 3-on-4 effectively. So can you really win this fight? And you haven't forced out Monkey Jump, and you haven't forced out Moira Fade, right? And I don't think you forced out Brig Shield either, right? Monkey has Jump, so he can escape this easily. Brig has Shield Bash, so she can escape this easily. And Moira has Fade. So everybody here can escape this easily. So this is a completely wasted ultimate. The Brig, I think, evidently does not read patch notes because shields don't block Orisa ulti anymore. They did in when she first got released at the beginning of Overwatch 2, but they don't anymore. So there's no reason why this Brig should just stood here. All she had to do was just Shield Bash away, and she was totally fine. Instead, she just stands there. You're very lucky to get this kill. You didn't deserve any kills there. When you're bumping people, honestly, it's usually better to let the entire cooldown complete, right? Keep bumping them and use the entire spin, and then use Javelin at the very end. That way they get lower, so you don't have to try to do this. Your tracking is not good. I would say the Hanzo here should be dead. If you're thinking like, oh, you want to get the platinum soon, you can't not kill this Hanzo, right? He has about 80 health here. You're at close range without heat being a problem. This Hanzo should be dead in like under 2 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, right? Now he's being healed. Your aim's going to be an issue. Right? And I'm not going to harp on it too much, but I'm just identifying, like, no matter what other tips you listen to, if you can't get better at aiming, you're not going to get very far climbing-wise, just because at the end of the day, Overwatch is still a first-person shooter. Alright, so for the record, so this is gold on console. I don't know which console it is. It doesn't really matter. This is probably like a mid-bronze game on PC. I think that's probably... I think the Mercy looks like low bronze. Like, literally bronze 5. Alright. Good Javelin. Good Javelin kill. So, don't spin tanks, because with tanks you usually have near 100% accuracy. You actually do more damage per second shooting tanks than you do spinning them. So spin is better against like mobile heroes, like if you're spinning, you know, like a Widow or something like that, right? Or a Genji, where you have trouble hitting them. Against tanks, just shoot them. So you really wish you would spin here, because if you had spin, I would use spin to knock the Brig back so she can't go after my team. But you definitely should not be walking away from her. Just go up to her, get the kill. Great. So Winston goes in. This is a great example of like, can I kill the Winston or should I kill the Hanzo? Winston's half. I think it's still the right call to go for the Hanzo here, though. You should just spin into him and then just shoot him / melee him, and he is dead. So you don't spin for way too long. He gets shot by, I think, the Baptiste here, which is how he takes so much damage. That damage was not from you. Like, you did very little damage to him. Go back. All right, good Javelin. Winston does a bad dive, and he's dead. So, decent defense on final point. It was bad at the start, but I think it's decent now. I think there's a good opportunity to take high ground, right? Take high ground at the minimum, even if you're not going to use it, to prevent them from taking high ground is very important. And then you can rotate back to the point when you need to. Team's doing a lot of stuff out there. You're sitting on cart. You don't need to do this. You can just play on cart. Okay? Play on cart, and if you notice the cart, like somebody's flanked you, then go back. But ideally, you find a timing where nobody could have gotten past you in time. If you think of Sombra or something, go back to the cart. But typically, not an issue. I would not recommend playing here. Great Javelin. Really, really good Javelin right there. Super high value, right? You force Primal early. This is excellent. Really excellent play. Best play you've made so far. Moira's here. You should be targeting the Moira, not the Winston. Kill the Moira. Please kill the Moira. No, stop trying. I know the Winston seems low, but he's not that low. Like, the Moira would already be dead by now if you're shooting the Moira. Okay, again, kill the Moira, please. Alright, you pop that early to get the kill and get out a Javelin, or get out a Dragon. Yep, spin in, pop Fortify here. So I pop Fortify because, again, this is just cleanup mode. I just want to make sure I don't die. Well, mode should be cleanup, but they actually got 2 kills. Great. So, again, kill Lucio. Yeah, alright, this is fine, I guess. And Lucio's coming back to you. That's... Yeah, so this is a great example where you just spin into Lucio and you kill him. Remember, it does 100 damage. So you just spin into Lucio and then melee and he dies. So you cut this super, super close. Decent Javelin attempt. So you should recognize, hey, there's 2 hit scans out here plus the Ana. standing out in the open is very, very dangerous, right? If all three are shooting at me, I'm going to take something like 300-ish damage per second as a ballpark figure, which is going to kill me super fast. I should go back and play cover, right? Play on the cart. Use the bridge railings. Good idea not to javelin there. I don't know if you thought about this, but I would assume that the monkey's going to bubble here, so I would hold javelin. Instead, I would spin in because I want to get up to the monkey as soon as possible. As Orisa versus Winston, basically assume that the Winston does 0 damage to you, right? Play as though the Winston literally can't hurt you. Unless you have like less than 200 health, assume the Winston cannot hurt you because it is functionally true that the Winston cannot hurt you. He does only 60 damage a second. It's trivial. Yeah, so you bump him here. Again, you're canceling it early, right? You could have gone all the way through the bubble with that spin, and then you could have had an opportunity for a javelin. So shoot him. Again, you see how you retreat out of the bubble? You don't need to do that. Don't be scared of him. Just stay here. Like, don't walk backwards. Just stand right here. Like, totally stand still and just shoot him in the face. There's no reason to run. Like, you see how you've only taken 70 damage so far. Javelin. Please, javelin. Please, javelin. Javelin at any point in time would kill him. Oh, rough. Alright, so they pop sound barrier. So you just kind of need to chill right now. Sojourn's kind of a problem, but she's like far enough away that I'm not really worried about her. Like, if she wants to play back there, that's fine. I just want to play here, shoot the Lucio, right? Go off the Soldier, go off the Winston. Anything besides chasing the Soldier out there. You see what's happening in your backline right now? You have that 1/4 health Winston running around shooting people. You have the Soldier in your backline. Don't worry about the Soldier. Even the Winston right now, it's fine. Like, the Soldier is the one who's most extended. Just go and kill the Soldier. You can hear him shooting, for the record. You can hear the Soldier shooting this entire time, and you've seen him a couple times. Don't throw those javelins. Like, it's really important right now that you land your javelins. Winston's fairly low. Still manages to get a kill. Unfortunate. Don't shoot the bubble. Right, walk into the bubble first, then shoot. Like, you're helping the Winston by bubble dancing on yourself. Like, you're indecisive about where you want to be in the bubble. You know? Just walk into his face and just shoot and walk back and forth like this. Alright, so you have ulti here. You do not want to pop multi ult, man. Okay, so why shouldn't you pop ulti here? So number one is you're very, very low. Okay, you're already at 300 health, 220. Okay, I can see you spinning. They're really far away is number two, right? Number one, you're very, very low, so you can just straight up die here. Number two is they're far away, so you're not going to be able to pull everybody in. Number three, you haven't forced movement cooldowns, so they can just get away from it and then kite you and kill you. And number three is that your spawn is close, so really all you want to do is stay alive here. If you just stand right here, right, just shoot the Winstons, chill behind here, maybe run back at the Mega and come back, the supports will be out soon, and they'll be able to heal you, and then you win this fight. You coming out here forces a fight unnecessarily, and then you get super low. Even if you didn't get knocked off, you were going to die, right? You're down to 56 health. You were going to die regardless of that outcome. Okay, so I'm going to stop on defense because it's pretty much the same thing. I will watch offense briefly and see if there's anything we can highlight over here. Oh, this is you getting angry, I guess. So, again, look for spin opportunities. Your spin's got 7-second cooldown. I would chill a little bit. You do not want to pop Fortify until you absolutely have to. See, this is like an unnecessary Fortify. You know? Like, you don't need to pop this Fortify. All you need to do here is just cover for a second, and you would have been fine. Okay, so you come out here, shoot. Okay, just cross to the right, and just chill. You have 3 seconds until your next spin. Chill here, get healed by your supports, right? Right now the shield's preventing you from getting healed. Also, just kill this Moira, who's grossly out of position, and you're just not paying attention to her. I don't have sound for the replay, so it's hard for me to tell when you're being flanked like this. But you should know in the game, like, it should be very loud for you, and you should just kill this Moira. But let's pretend for a second the Moira is there. Just chill here for 3 seconds and then push. So you bought Fortify, which is really, really bad. Now you don't have Fortify available. You've lost 2. Again, I don't think this would have happened if you just simply spun in right away, or just killed the Moira, or did any number of things. Don't shoot Ramattra Shield for the most part. It's 1,000 health, but only lasts a few seconds, so it generally never happens. All you're doing right now is you're feeding ult charge to the enemy. That's what's happening. Is everybody's just farming ult charge off of you because they're doing way more damage to you than you are to them. Like, I know it feels good getting the hits, but like the hit markers don't matter, and now you just die. There's no reason to die here. Like, you can just take cover. You know, there's no reason for this. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, and this is gonna be a shorter video than maybe you expected, but it's because there's not really a lot for me to talk about here at an advanced level. In short, it looks like you don't have a lot of experience playing Orisa. You possibly don't have a lot of experience playing Overwatch in general. And this is one of the reasons also why I try to avoid reviewing like very low ranked games. Again, this the PC equivalent of this game would be like bronze, and I typically avoid reviewing bronze games, and even like low silver, I try to shy away. And the short answer is because there's just so many things that you can improve upon, it's hard for me to even talk about them. And you kind of heard like me talking through this, but I think that your overall ability usage is not very good. Your overall awareness is not very good, and your aim is actually probably better than I expected. Your aim is okay, but like the key things are just understanding like, wait, am I low on health? Am I high on health? Can I push this angle? Can I not push this angle? You know, stuff like that. You don't have that level of awareness, and so it's really difficult for me to talk about again any sort of like anything beyond like Orisa 101 level type material, which I feel like other content creators do a better job of it than I do. I think that my niche is kind of like really micro level detail for specific players in probably like the low plat to like low masters bracket is probably my niche so far, I would say. And you don't really fit that. So I think that you should probably spend time watching maybe like unranked GM videos or like general Orisa guides. I'll link maybe like a couple of mine. I don't know how useful they will be to me, but if we just watch like this fight, this is like a really good example of like, what am I supposed to say here? So this is a 3-on-5 situation, right? And then you're just kind of shooting. You walk into the vortex, then you spin, okay? But you have no fortify and you have no spin, and you just stand in the middle of the lane and you die. So, you know, I could just say, oh, don't do this, but does that help you? Like, I'm pretty sure you knew when you died, you're like, that probably wasn't a good idea. We're at like Overwatch 101 basics, which is like group S5 and then fight S5 is at a bare minimum. And number 2 would be just don't waste abilities. And number 3 would be take cover. In fact, there's an A10 guide actually I should link, which is like this is the only guide you ever need to climb in Overwatch, which is kind of amusing. But it talks about basic things like holding corners, right, and resources and things like that. And I think that's probably a lot more helpful than anything that I can give you. And I feel kind of bad here because again, I don't really think there's a lot that I can tell you here that maybe you haven't already heard or seen. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Hopefully it's helpful to you at least a little bit. I'll try to remember to link those videos.